Hi, my name is Rebecca Knickmeyer, and I'm a professor at Michigan State University. I'm here today to tell you about our study, which is focused on identifying genes involved in the neurocognitive profile of Turner syndrome using exome sequencing. Now, while most people with Turner syndrome are of average or above average intelligence, Turner syndrome can affect specific areas of thinking and learning. For example, many women and girls report challenges in the area of attention and executive function. On an everyday basis, that could mean difficulty getting and staying focused, difficulty planning and making decisions, challenges inhibiting intrusive thoughts and behaviors, trouble doing multiple things at once, or holding information in your mind's eye, like remembering a shopping list as you go through the supermarket. Some women and girls report issues with visual spatial and visual motor functions. What this looks like would be difficulty understanding things like maps and charts that rely on visual information, trouble understanding where your body is in space and in relation to others, as well as trouble doing activities that need hand-eye coordination, like riding, bike riding, or driving. Some women and girls with TS report problems with social cognition and communication. So this would manifest as difficulty understanding what other people are thinking and feeling, and that can translate into issues initiating or maintaining peer relationships. Finally, many women and girls report challenges with mathematical reasoning. Math does matter every day, so this could manifest itself as trouble managing money, telling time, recognizing and remembering numerical patterns like your PIN number for the ATM, challenges interpreting graphs, charts, and tables that rely on numerical concepts, as well as participating in certain sports, games, and hobbies that might have a strong math component. Now, there are general interventions that target these areas. For example, stimulant medications, originally developed for ADHD, can help with attention and executive function. There are also training programs to improve things like working memory, mathematical skills, and social cognition. But there are no TS-specific therapies for thinking and learning and challenges. And that's really because scientists don't understand why those challenges occur. Scientists think these issues happen because of a missing chromosome, but we don't know which genes on the missing chromosome are most important, and we don't know how those missing genes interact with genes on the remaining chromosomes. We also don't know why some women with TS might have problems in many different areas, while some might only have a few problems, and others no problems at all with thinking and learning. Now, exome sequencing is a way to study DNA, focusing on the most important parts called exons. Exons tell our cells how to make proteins, which do most of the work in our bodies, including in our brains. So our goal is to identify genes involved in the neurocognitive profile of Turner syndrome by integrating exome sequencing with cognitive testing. So who can join this study? Right now, the study is open to women enrolled in the Turner Syndrome Research Registry who have also donated DNA samples to the GenTech registry. But we are hoping to expand the study in the near future to involve other women in the registry who are willing to donate new DNA samples for genetic testing. What do study participants have to do? Well, first, they have to complete some cognitive tests and surveys on their computer. And second, they need to give the research team permission to access their genetic information. How do people join? Eligible women will receive an email inviting them to participate. So check your email. If you've been invited and you're interested, all you have to do is follow the link provided to consent, and then we'll send you the link for the cognitive testing. Other things you might want to know: this is a voluntary study, and all the information gathered is confidential. Participants are paid. They get $20 as a thank you for participating and to compensate them for their time doing the cognitive testing. If you're interested in learning more about the study, you can reach out to our study office at 517-355-3977. I want to end by talking about how we hope this study will benefit people with TS. So first, by identifying genes and genetic variants that impact thinking and learning in Turner syndrome, We hope it will help us predict problems before they emerge. So the typical neurocognitive profile usually um, comes out or starts being noticed when kids are school age. But a lot of brain development has already happened before that. And in fact, a lot of my work has been looking at early changes in the brain of infants with Turner syndrome. So we know infancy is a really critical time for intervention because the brain is growing so quickly. So we hope in the future we can use this genetic information to develop interventions focused on infancy and toddlerhood prior to the emergence of symptoms so that we can reduce or prevent them entirely in the future. Second, by identifying genes and genetic variants that impact thinking and learning in TS, could help us actually develop new medications targeting these areas that are really specific to TS as opposed to the more generic treatments and interventions that are currently available. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about our study, and if you're eligible, I hope you'll consider participating. Thank you so much for your time.